Hello, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to do this little video on some single cycle waveforms. On the Digitakt 2. Just to show how useful they are, how much you can do with them, how much better the experience is with the Digitakt 2, though you can do single cycles on the first one as well, but this one is focused on the Digitakt 2. So yeah, just like set up already, I have these two, which this one's kind of like a little fat bass thing, and I spent exactly no time making these. It was probably about 30 seconds to a minute each. But they sound pretty cool. If you don't know what a single cycle waveform is, it's basically just a very short waveform. So like this is, you see the line that's going back and forth, that's it looping really fast. So it's like, it's basically, it turns it basically into a synthesizer because it's doing the same thing synthesizers do, where it's like a repeating waveform looped over and over again and like morphs over time and stuff. So this is just playing a short little snippet that basically turns this into an oscillator. It's still technically a sample, but it behaves as if it's an oscillator. You can't do as much with it as you can with like a normal synthesizer. So like, you know, this isn't gonna replace like a Digitone or something like that, but you can definitely use it for that purpose with a Digitakt if you want to use just a Digitakt or whatever. Anyways, there's some nice improvements that they did with the Digitakt 2 that make it a lot more useful, because I never really used them on the first one because it was kind of a pain. One thing in particular that is a huge change is when you are selecting your samples. So let's just go over to this one I've started, blank one. So I'll just show you first. It comes with a bunch of single cycle waveforms. So in factory, you'll all have that if you have one. It's just in oscillators. And then there's a single cycle one. There's also wavetables, which I'll kind of mention after, but it's a bit different. But the single cycle one, all of these are single cycle waveforms, so just very short little things that will loop. But now you have, as long as you have it turned on, this auto preview thing. So you press right to get to that menu and then turn auto preview on if you don't have it already. When you go through them, it will play them. So you no longer have to, like on the first one, go through and randomly pick one where I'll show you what they sound like if it's not looping. And I'll also mention what happens there in a second. Let's see. Let's go to single cycle. These NES ones don't loop. That's what they basically sound like, just a little pip. But also, the Digitone one, or Digitakt 1 didn't even have any like preview thing, I don't think, when you flip through. So that's new itself. But yeah, so this also detects if something is a single cycle waveform and automatically loops it. So basically, I'm kind of getting backwards and forwards here. A single cycle waveform, if you, let's just pick one, let's go through these so you get to hear what they all sound like here. This is the one that I put on the second track. That's cool. Let's do this little buzzy guy. So this is what it sounds like. This is the waveform. This is what we're turning into an oscillator. It's just that. That's what the waveform looks like. So in order to make it actually behave like an oscillator so you can play it melodically, you have to turn play to forward loop. So now it'll continuously loop once it gets to the end. And now it is oscillating. And now, because of that, because it's so short and it's just behaving as an oscillator, it will stay in perfect tune You know, with samples, normally when you go up really high or down really low, they won't sound perfect. They'll sound the best around the pitch that they were initially, but these still sound perfect if you go up really high or down really low. If you go down really low, obviously they'll start to get really weird because they're playing so slow. Anyways, so you can just find something that sounds cool, and then now that you have an oscillator, you can do all sorts of stuff to it. Filter is the best source of morphing single cycles. So that's pretty cool. And then in the effects as well, a little overdrive, and then the bit reduction will add. Just listen to it, turn it slowly, and just see what it does. Because it's so short, these have a much more dramatic effect. Because it doesn't have as much data to mess up. So when it does mess something up, it completely changes. Especially with the sample rate reduction here. Let's put some delay on reverb and chorus. Let's put it through a comb filter. See, if you funk and turn the frequency on a comb filter, it'll go to melodic intervals. Because if you're in between, you'll add kind of a dissonance, which you might want. Listen to that deep bass. And then add the host filter to the sample rate. Point being, you can even play with the length, which will change the tuning of it. But now, yeah, you can do sorts of stuff like that. Anyways, let's just quickly do another one just to see. So let's go in, select an empty sample slot, and then we'll go back to the factory ones, oscillators, single cycle. It's a little different. Put it on loop. Put a delay on that one. Maybe put some high pass filter on. And as you can imagine, you can do all sorts of stuff with LFOs to make it a lot more dynamic and interesting. But yeah, point being, listen to the amount of different possibilities you have just with these tiny little sounds. Those are cool. Those are just the ones that come with it. And then I'll put a link to it in the description, but there's a free pack, though you can donate to it, called, what is it called? Adventure Kid. So it's adventurekid.se. He has like a ton of single cycle waveforms, which I've had forever. So you can go there and get them. These are all folders, and each one of them, I even have them kind of like these ones sound like an alto sax. But this used to be a nightmare to go through because you would have to pick through a bunch of little pips and then just randomly see if it sounded good. But now, oh, that's cool. You can just go through tons and tons of these and find the sound you want. And then play with it. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I want to show you. Just want to kind of push that you should be trying these single cycle waveforms because they are fun. Hope you play around with that and have fun, and yeah, you can use your Digitakt like a synthesizer and enjoy. Cheers and Happy New Year.